There's so much deception, so much lying in the world. There always has been since the very beginning when the serpent lied to Eve in the garden. He deceived her into believing that she could eat the forbidden fruit and nothing would happen. But, we all know this side of the fall, that's just not true. We as women have been in a constant battle with the enemy himself, and he wants to lead us into any kind of deception that's going to separate us from the people that we love, separate us from the people we care about, separate us from one another.
Hello, I'm Dr. Debbie, and I've been helping men, women, and couples grow together for more than 25 years. Now it's your turn to learn what I learned and taught as a couples counselor and university professor. You are the wise woman, and this is your personal development podcast packed with instant encouragement and practical tips. And men can learn about women too, because this is a safe place where women are valued and men are respected. We talk about biology, socialization, behavior, emotions, communication, and connection, because men and women are different. Always have been, always will be, and that's a very good thing.
We always want to be really aware of those things that are just not true. And the tricky part is they're not true, but they seem true and they feel true because you're looking at the external evidence for that and totally missing that there's a truth that goes deeper about who a person is. We're all so incredibly, incredibly unique. There are some things that men have in common and there are things that women have in common, but when it comes down to it, it's really about the individual, because there's more differences from individual to individual than there is from group to group, such as men to women. So yeah, we all want to be loved. We all want to be respected, but we kind of lean more towards the love idea if we're female and more towards the respect idea if we're male, but we still both need love and respect. That's pretty clear, right? And oftentimes we misunderstand one another because we are falling for these deceptions or lies, straight up lies from the enemy of our soul. We fall for them and we behave accordingly. And how we see the problem that's going on, if we're only looking at the surface and we draw a conclusion based on this deception, then we're going to behave very differently if we get to know a person on a one-on-one and think about what are some other explanations for what you're seeing in external behavior. Just know that there's more to every person than just what you see on the surface, including me. And that's one of the things that I've been trying to do a lot lately, is to actually be much more vulnerable and open with you all about my own process. I know in my book I was pretty open, but when you go into the video realm and social media and such, then not everybody's read that background. So, I want you to know that I don't think I've got it all together. I'm learning just like you are. And in that process, as I learn something new, I want to share it with you. A lot of the information that I have when it comes to men is based on studying them, in college, in graduate school, and then in my clinical practice as well. Working through all of that stuff, I've learned a ton of things about people, and especially about men. Men will tell me things when there are no women around. And this is true of men in a group as well as men individually. They will say things to me they would never say to their wives. I actually had a wife get really angry at her husband in the middle of a session, and she looked at him, and then she looked at me and she goes, "Why will he talk to you and he won't talk to me?" And I said, "That's an easy answer. I'm not his wife. If I say something he doesn't like or something that hurts him, he doesn't ever have to come back again. He can tune me out, he can move on. But you are much more valuable to him. And that's why he's much more careful about what he wants to share with you."
Thank you for listening to this episode of A Wise Woman's Guide to Men and Marriage. What did you think? Did the information raise more questions? Do you want to learn more? Head over to A Wise Woman's Guide for show notes and links to the resources mentioned in this episode at awisewomensguide.com.